just continuing on here as Mallow wish Kilmurray 3 cheers for a very fine team performance. Broken-hearted, I can see from up here. The Kilmurray players go off the pitch and there'll be many talking points. They just can't believe that they lost this one. And Mallow, in contrast, absolutely over the moon at the moment as the speeches continue. But meanwhile, Liam Nash has gone off to meet a few players, people involved with both teams. And while he's doing that, I have been joined by Cork football star Niall Cahalane for this county senior football final. Niall, you're very welcome to RT 89 FM, Cork Local Radio, bringing you live the county final. Delighted to have you, Niall. Now, you have obviously been playing with Castlehaven, playing with Cork. You know what the county championship is about. So far this year, you've seen, I'm sure, Skibbereen and Nemo. Who has impressed you most?
Yeah, I think I haven't seen Nemo actually this year, Marty, but Nemo at any stage, you know. Most of their panel have played at some stage or some grade with Cork, you know. But against that, Skibbereen, they'd only be in the road for me at home, so certainly I've seen them and they have improved an awful lot to what the Skibbereen team was of old.
Yeah, when I was doing my research for today's match, I was impressed by the number of players that have played into county. I noticed minor on 21, obviously Anthony and Mick McCarthy have been playing with you at senior level, but they have plenty of experience to cope with a county final day.
Oh, they would have, and plus the fact that they have won at minor grade county championship at minor grade and under 21 grade, you know, so that county finals wouldn't be anything new to these players. But it's a big day, senior county final. You know.
Where do you see the winning and losing of this match?
Both sets of forwards seem to be very strong. Both teams certainly have 6 forwards that are capable of winning the game on their own. I think centre field is going to be a major factor. Whoever is going to win centre field, I think, will certainly, I think, will go a long way to winning it.
Now, the weather conditions here, at least it's not raining, thanks be to God at the moment, but there is a very strong breeze and it's very much going down to the Blackrock end. What way would you, if you were in Skibbereen being a West Cork man, what would you do if you won the toss? Would you play with it or against it?
Well, I suppose from a small bit of experience, we came up against St. Finbarrs in '89. Decided to play against the wind if we won the toss. Now, whether we won it or not, I don't know, but we ended up playing against the wind, Marty. And we went in, I think was it a point down at half time or something, coming out playing with a strong breeze. And certainly that's the way I would be thinking, you know.
This Nemo team, I know you haven't seen them, but they're Nemo, as you said in your start there, Nemo, they play the same sort of brand of football. But there's been a lot of controversy over the Nemo-Bishopstown match. Stephen O'Brien is gone, suspensions. Nemo couldn't really pick their team until Thursday of this week. What effect would you think that would have on Nemo?
Definitely it will affect them in some small way. Stephen O'Brien is certainly going to be a major loss. I don't think there's any inter-county team or club team in the country can afford to be without the likes of Stephen O'Brien.
Determined that this is going to be Nemo's 10th success and 10th championship victory. We'll see as the St. Falkland Skibbereen band about to play another tune. We'll take a very brief commercial break.
Big names at Ballincollig Furniture include Coyle and Rossmore, and when it comes to beds, King Coyle and O'Dearest. Ballincollig Furniture at Naglin have a huge selection of quality kitchen, dining and occasional furniture and are open 7 days a week with ample parking.
The fleet is in at Turner's Cross Motors. Yes, our 1992 fleet of 2- and 3-month-old cars are back at Turner's Cross. And you can save up to £1,900 on some of these models. Turner's Cross Motors, Kinsale Road, Cork.
Borrowed Humour presents at City Hall, Cork on Thursday, the 24th of September, one of the world's great tenors, Alexei Steblianko, soprano Larissa Shevchenko, and violinist Geraldine O'Grady. Tickets at Kelly's Grand Parade, Cork, concessions available.
Sean's Electrical are offering the best trade-in deals in town. Up to £60 on washing machines, £40 on cookers and fridges. Remember, Sean offers quality brands, long-term guarantees, personal service and attention. Buy from Sean's, your main Zanussi dealer. Sean's Electrical, Temple Hill, Ballinlough, phone 294 617.
At Lion's Tea, we wondered when is the best time to come round to a better brew. So, we went round the country.
When you've rounded up all the kids and packed them off to school.
Oh, every time the tea trolley comes round.
When friends call round.
round midnight.
Round about 11. It's my idea of heaven.
When you've been around as long as I have, any time. Round about now?
Lions Round tea bags. Have you come round to a better brew?
89 FM, Cork!
Welcome back here to Páirc Uí Chaoimh. O'Donovan, Rossa, Skibbereen are out on the pitch in their red and white jerseys to a very warm reception. Certainly West Cork, everybody must be at Páirc Uí Chaoimh because they got a huge welcome. But to find out what's happening locally, nationally, here's Pat McAuliffe.
Yes, we'll have news from various places around the country and locally as well today. We'll have news, of course, from St. Comas Park, Ballygarvan and also in Nolan Park. And it's with League of Ireland Soccer we begin, the Borgosh League of Ireland down at St. Comas Park. And good news for Cork fans is that coming up to half-time, Cork City leads St. Patrick's Athletic by 1-0. City starting well there. Cormac Connor hitting a post early in the game, and in front of a crowd of over 700, Pat Morley has put them ahead after 21 minutes shooting home from the edge of the box. We'll keep you up to date with the half-time score a little later on. Also news from the Ballygarvan where there are 3 matches there, a triple header. The first match there today was the Southeast Junior B hurling final, and the result there was Belgooley 1 goal and 17 points, Crosshaven 2 goals and 4 points. The second match there at the moment into the second half is the B football championship final in the Southeast. Valley Rovers 1-3, Ballinhassig 6 points. Ballinhassig scoring the last 4 points there to come back and level the scores. And elsewhere we have news also from the Under-21 All-Ireland final. That game just starting at Nolan Park. It's Offaly 2 points, Waterford 1 point. Waterford, of course, hoping to win an All-Ireland Championship, their minors having lost last week. And finally we have news of the Italian Grand Prix where it wasn't a good day for Nigel Mansell. He retired after 42 laps, and that exciting Grand Prix was won by Ayrton Senna. That's the news. We'll have further news for you a little later on. It's back to Marty.
Thanks very much, Pat. Just discussing here while Pat was giving us an update there about the attendance here. We estimate, Niall Callahan and myself, approximately 10,000 people, Niall, which is a very good attendance for a county football final.
Yeah, I'd say, about the 10,000, I'd say, which is a big attendance.
And certainly as we arrived into Páirc Uí Chaoimh, busloads, supporters coming from Nemo, from Skibbereen, virtually everybody seems to be going in one direction, and that is to Páirc Uí Chaoimh. And Richard Murphy, the referee from Lyre, in very impressive outfit, new gear indeed, wearing white jersey, black togs, black socks with a green band, and he was tossing up the coin, and from what I could see anyway, it was Nemo's decision, and Niall Creedon won the toss. What way they're playing, I didn't actually see, Niall, I didn't see what way they decided. There was no clear indication, at least.
Yeah, there was no clear indication, Marty, but from what I could see, I think Nemo have decided to play against the wind.
So just while the teams are kicking the ball out around the place, Nemo at the city end, O'Donovan Rossa at the Blackrock end, kicking the ball around, trying to get rid of nerves. I'll just give you a rundown on the O'Donovan Rossa Skibbereen team. In goals, Kevin O'Dwyer. Full back line, John Evans, John O'Donovan, Frank McCarthy. Half back line, Gino Driscoll. Centre half back, Anthony Davis, and left half back, Ian Breen. Midfield will be Dennis O'Driscoll and Brian O'Donovan. And as Niall was saying earlier, this area, these players will play a crucial role to see if they can cope with the presence of Shea Fahy and Timmy Dalton for Nemo. Dennis O'Driscoll, Brian O'Donovan, a lot of responsibility today. Half forward line, Pat Davis. Centre forward, Joe Driscoll, and left half forward, John Davis. Full forward line, John Brady. Full forward is Mick McCarthy, the captain, and left corner forward is Neville Murphy. Nemo Rangers will interesting battle against players that have won All-Ireland medals at all levels in both camps, and you can see a little bit of anxiety, nerves as the players march around. O'Donovan Rossa appearing in their very first championship final, and as they march behind the St. Buckness Skibbereen band, Niall, there must be nerves in the Skibbereen camp.
Yeah, they're bound to be nervous, certainly bound to be nervous. But against that, as we were saying earlier on, a lot of them have played in inter-county level at some grade. Plus the fact that a few of them had played with Buckness when they won the All-Ireland colleges, you know. So there's a lot of experience there as well.
So as the teams march between the 45 and 20 metre line at Blackrock End, it's Nemo and O'Donovan Rossa. And certainly players, if you might be interested to know about the numbers on the jerseys, that's because Nemo Rangers gave selection from their county semi-final, and they kept with that because of the doubt about so many of their players possibly missing today's final due to suspension. As it turned out, at the County Board disciplinary meeting. Only Stephen O'Brien is missing. So Timmy Dalton, Paul Donovan, all able to play, and of course Frank McCarthy from O'Donovan Rossa Skibbereen also given a clean bill of health to play in this county final. For the very first time, of course, Richard Murphy will be refereeing this county final, so it's an anxious day for him as well. Nemo Rangers have an incredible record really in county finals. They lost their first in 1972 to Muskerry, and they've appeared in 9 finals after that and have won each and every one of them, so it's an impressive record. Paths to the finals, let me just give you the Nemo path. They beat Beara by 212 to 1-6, UCC 112 to 1-3, and Bishopstown 411 to 111, while O'Donovan Rossa beat Immokalee by 7 points, to Hallow by 2-9 to 9, Muskerry by 4 points, and then Ahada by 1-8 to 6 points. It's a very, very impressive path to get to this county final by both teams. And in the Kelleher Shield when they met, Niall, Nemo Rangers just won by 1 point. That was below Inskibbereen.
That's right. Nemo only beat them actually by a last-minute goal at the dying minutes of the game.
So the teams now in a huddle, and it'll be interesting if they stay there for the national anthem, because they could well be facing a fine. Nemo are going into their positions, while O'Donovan Rossa are still grouped on just inside the 65-metre line at the Black Rock end, at the far side, just a few metres in from the sideline, just having a last few words saying, this is it, lads, this is the moment we've been working for a long, long time. Club founded in 1887, they lost the junior final to Mitchelstown in 1961, but came of age in 1985 when they joined the senior ranks. Of course, they won the intermediate title. Wonderful atmosphere in Páirc Uí Chaoimh. Nemo Rangers, the kingpins of Cork football for so many years, their last title in 1988, face O'Donovan Rossa for the very first time in a county final. As Richard Murphy from Lyre checks with his umpires, telling the Nemo half forwards to stay up. As we look at our stopwatch, 1 hour will decide, just over an hour, will decide the county final. And away we go. The county final of 1992 underway. Nemo getting their first touch, sending it up towards their centre-half forward there, Dennis O'Sullivan. This is Timmy Dalton, one of the doubtful players before the start of this county final. Getting inside the O'Donovan Rossa 45-metre line, held onto the ball for too long, and it's the first free for Skibbereen. And coming out to take it will be fullback John O'Donovan. John, electrical engineer. In fact, he's leaving it to John Evans. And John, 37-year-old, hoping to add on a medal that has eluded him in his marvellous career. Senior County Championship medal. Gino Driscoll sending a ball deep. Falls nicely from Neville Murphy. Coming across is Paddy Dorgan, and Paddy gets a boot to it and sends it out for 45. That's a good long ball. It's a long ball, of course, economical, and it always causes a little bit of problems for a defence.
That's right. Being a back myself, I suppose you hate to see this long ball of a hit and hope in, because certainly if you're fast corner forwards in on top of a break, that's where goals come from, Marty.
So this very first 45 going to be taken by Anthony Davis, the detective guarder from Anglesey Street Garda Station. White gloves on, sending in a ball which is causing no problems to Nemo. That's the first wide for O'Donovan Rossa. And of course, like all new teams playing in county finals, big days, an early score can settle a team. And that, no doubt, will be what O'Donovan Rossa will be hoping for.
Certainly, if O'Donovan Rossa can get an early score or two, it's going to settle all the nerves and things like that. You know, Dale, I thought that Anthony might even float that into the square more than actually go for a score from it, you know.
So O'Donovan Rossa playing with wind advantage in this first half, playing into the Blackrock end. Ball cleared, goes down towards Effie Fitzgerald, playing it left half forward, despite wearing number 11. And he's just called outside the Skibbereen 65. An easy ball, however, for the Skibbereen defence. Back they come again. A ball aimed at Mick McCarthy. Now Creedon losing his footing. Mick McCarthy from 45 metres out, sending a ball which is tailing to the right and wide. And maybe I'm being a little bit too critical now, but is there a slight bit of over-anxiety in Skibbereen to get a quick score?
That's right there. Now I thought that Mick actually could have even slipped inside his man there and played the ball inside for Dunarty. Kicking from virtually 60 yards out as he was at the time, you know. They should steady it down a bit more, I think.
So the first kick out for Don Heafy from Turner's Cross. The apprentice Tyler sending it over towards Effie Fitzgerald, well gathered, bursting his way past several challenges from Skibbereen. Tony Nation being fouled, being held up by John Brady, and for dissent, John Brady being spoken to by the referee, and Tony Nation told that he wants, the referee rather wants, the free to be taken from where the foul was committed. So Tony Nation, just a few metres in from the sideline here, dead smack in front of us, inside his own 65. Going back to gather is Pat Davis, one of three brothers on this Skibbereen team, and that's another free for O'Donovan Rossa. Another free for John Evans, All-Star 1982. Two All-Stars in this O'Donovan Rossa team, Tony Davis being the other. Mind you, there was 8 years of a difference between the awards, but it doesn't matter to Skibbereen. This being gathered by Keith Horgan. That ball sent in towards John Evans. Cut away, however, as Nemo keep the pressure on. This is Joe Kavanagh. And the ball had gone out over the line and wide. So an easy kick out for Kevin Dwyer. Referee having a little bit of a nudge in the wind there with his umpire, because it looked like if it was a free out for O'Donovan Rossa, but however it's a kick out for Kevin O'Dwyer, electronic engineering student in the Regional Technical College, man who won an All-Ireland minor medal in 91 and an All-Ireland colleges medal in 91 with the famous St. Faulkner's. Coming of age here at senior ranks, Skibbereen. Referee saying there was a free as a result of the Nemo players pushing the Skibbereen lads just inside their own 45-metre line. Gino Driscoll to take it. Man who transferred from Cara 4 years ago, ex-Carberry player, and a coach and selector with O'Donovan Rossa, just outside his own 45-metre line. Sending it in towards the middle. Getting a hand to it was Dennis O'Driscoll, and he got it down towards Don Davis, who goes over to the far side of the field. Chasing after him, Nemo backs. Mick McCarthy getting inside Niall Creedon, and that's another free for Skibbereen, and this time more realistic chance of putting it over the bar. On the 20-metre line to the left of the post. An easy enough angle for Mick McCarthy, but the wind, of course, to his back just might be a little bit tricky. Here he is, short little run up, dropping it in over the crossbar. The first score for O'Donovan Rossa of Skibbereen in the county final comes after 5 minutes and 38 seconds, and it's Mick McCarthy that does it.
Yeah, certainly that should settle the sides there now, and it should certainly settle Mick McCarthy as well. A vital stage to kick over a point from, you know.
So Don Heafy taking his first kick out from the 20-metre line. First championship season. Had a great party a few weeks ago for his 21st. We've been concentrating on since the county final of 92. Centre half forward, Joe Driscoll, showing some nice skill. Available to his left is Brian O'Donovan, sending the ball quickly in towards John Brady, who's pushed and fouled by Paddy Dorgan. And this just a few metres to the left of the post. We're actually dead straight in front of the goal post on the 20-metre line. Mick McCarthy to take it. And this a relatively easy task. And this is what Skibbereen need in this first half, Niall.
That's certainly what they need. I think 2 unnecessary fouls by Nemo. Certainly after allowing Skibbereen a 2-point advantage already, you know.
That's exactly what it is, as Mick McCarthy puts it over. 2 points for frees by the captain, Mick McCarthy. And Skibbereen will be very pleased with the way the game is going so far. They've settled now, 2 points up, 7 minutes gone in the first half. John Heaphy deciding to switch his kickouts to the far over side. Knocked away, and it's Nemo that pick up the break. This is right half forward Stephen Callan. A fine game in the All-Ireland Club final against Clonagale of Roscommon a few years ago. Comes into the full forward Peter Lambert, and that's a very good score. And there was a touch of class about that point. Got the ball, got the break, no messing around, a nice easy stroke over the bar.
Certainly they made it look very easy there. Marty came all the way. I think they had come all the way from the kick out. They made it certainly very easy looking all the way down the field, you know.
So the kick out by Kevin O'Dwyer on the 20-metre line. A gentleman dressed in all white, red collar and cuffs and red socks. And Kevin made his debut for O'Donovan Rossa at the age of 16 and a half. Shea Fahy, unable to hold on to it, comes down to Dennis O'Driscoll, who is fouled, wants to take it quickly. Gives it out to centre half-back Anthony Davis, who's free this side of the field, now passing the Nemo 45-metre line. With the left leg, drops in a dangerous ball. There's panic in Nemo, and it's a goal for Skibbereen. It looked all the way as if Nemo were in trouble, and it was a splendid goal. Centre half forward Joe O'Driscoll. Cork under 21-92 gets a brilliant goal for O'Donovan Rossa.
That's right. It's typical again, Marty, of what we were saying is the high-hanging ball going in. Anthony saw it in with his right and threw it onto his left as a last resort. Dropped into the square, and Joe O'Driscoll got his hand to it and into the back of the net, you know. This should certainly settle Skibbereen at this stage.
A brilliant start for the men from West Cork. And here they come again. It's Ian Breen sending it into Mick McCarthy. Mick from 30 metres. Oh, that's a brilliant point by McCarthy. His first from play, his third of the afternoon. And already it must be said that Nemo are in a spot of bother, and particularly in the inside line. Their full back line, the Nemo full back line, surprisingly finding it hard to cope.
Nemo full back line are certainly finding it very hard to cope. The Skib half-forward line seems to be, except for Joe O'Driscoll, seem to be playing out around centre field and leaving a lot of space in front of the full forward line. And Skib are dropping the ball well in front of the marker.
Skibbereen chasing and harassing everything. This is John Brady on the Nemo 45-metre line. Potty Dog and after, making good angle for himself, and he puts it over the bar. A brilliant point by the man from Cavan. He transferred from Lower United a couple of years ago, and he's made a brilliant contribution to Skibbereen. So now, Mick McCarthy has 3 points, John Brady has 1, Joe Driscoll has a goal, and that gives you a total of 1-4. Peter Lambert, the man from Ardfinnan in County Tipperary, the only scorer so far for Nemo. But remember, O'Donovan Rossa playing with the breeze. 10.5 minutes gone, 1-4 to a point. Breaking out with it. It's Keith Horgan, and he is fouled, and it's a free up for Nemo. Shea Fahy, of course, that was fouled, and that free that was sent in, gathered by John Evans. Sending it back to John O'Donovan. Available. Another Skibbereen man, happens to be Brian O'Donovan. Sending it over to the goal scorer Joe Driscoll at the far side. There's no messing around, it's a quick ball into the full forward line. Mick McCarthy again has the facility of beating Niall Creedon so far. The two captains battling hard with each other, and it's McCarthy that was fouled. And right corner back Kevin Cowie being spoken to by the referee. This a rather difficult angle, a few metres in from the sideline, far side of the field. Dead smack in the centre between the 20 and 45-metre line, going to be taken by Mick McCarthy. Quickly to his corner forward, going for a point. It's a high dropping ball, but it's tailing to the right and wide. And Mick just telling his colleague that he should have passed it back to him, that he was in a better position. But so far, after 11 minutes, really, O'Donovan Rossa couldn't have asked for a better start. Don Heafy, in his first championship season, dressed in a green jersey, white togs, socks down around the ankles. The break again falls to Don Davis of Skibbereen. Garda giving it to the teacher at St. Faulkner's, John Brady. A McKenna Cup holder from Cavan. Fouled by Paddy Dorgan. And again, the Nemo full back line in a spotter bother.
Certainly in a spotter bother, Marty. Again giving away a quite stupid freeze, actually, you know. At this stage of the game, it looks like Skibbereen are the club playing with all the county medals, you know what I mean? Nemo certainly haven't settled it all at all in this game.
So facing into the breeze, Nemo Rangers with wind advantage. John Brady on the 13-metre line of 10-15 metres in from the sideline, and he hits it beautifully over the bar. Skibbereen are on song, his second point of the afternoon, and the PE teacher, 28-year-old John Brady, doing very well in the corner. It's 1-5 for Donovan Rossa, 1 point for Nemo Rangers, 12.5 minutes gone in the first half. The kick out by Don Heafy, sending it down the middle. Dennis O'Driscoll looking for the break, but it's gathered, half intercepted. And Joe O'Driscoll fouling his marker there. So it's a free for Nemo. Timmy Dalton anxious to take it. But because Gino O'Driscoll wouldn't give him the ball quickly enough, he gets an extra few metres. Easily cut out by John O'Donovan. It's good play by Nemo, by O'Donovan Rossa so far. John Brady, first to the ball. Paddy Dorgan getting a hand to it. Gives it to Jimmy Kerrigan. This is Dennis O'Sullivan, teacher in St. Aidan's in Dublin Hill. Easily anticipated and well played by John O'Donovan, the electrical engineer at the National Microelectronics Research Centre at UCC. Giving it down to the guard, John Davis, now after switching wings. Plenty of Skibbereen players. One of them happens to be the centre half-back, Anthony Davis, the detective Garda, being pushed and fouled by Stephen Muldoon and Niall Creedon between them, and it's another free in for Skibbereen. And make no mistake about it, Nemo Rangers are under pressure in their defence and they're fouling too easily.
Certainly under a lot of pressure, fouling too easily. Again, a scoreable chance for Skibbereen. The thing about it is, as well as that, Skibber winning all the breaks along centre field, Marty.
And they're so vital as John Brady takes this free, this side of the field, about 25-30 metres out, favours the left leg, and he hits it nicely, dropping in under the crossbar. Don Heafy reads it well, gives it out to Tony Nation from the Doyle Road and Turner's Cross. Spot a bother, Niall Creedon, and it's good play by Skibbereen. They're harassing Nemo, they're not allowing them to play this running game at all.
That's right, Marty. Skibber down on top of them at every beck and call they're in, and they're harassing, they're tackling, and in a situation like that, there's no harm in giving away a free 25 yards in your opposition goal, you know what I mean?
Poor kick by Paddy Dorgan, runs along the pitch. Timmy Dalton calls for it and gathers it. Stephen Muldoon from Belfast sending it up towards full forward Peter Lambert. John O'Donovan staying with him. Still Lambert giving it back to Colin Corkery. Back to Lambert, got inside his marker. Still Lambert onto the left. Oh, lovely skill by Lambert. Score on here. Back to centre half forward, Effie Fitzgerald, and blocked by the Skibbereen defence. But Lambert showing his class there. Still Effie Fitzgerald, and taking too many steps with the ball is Effie Fitzgerald, and it's a free out for Skibbereen. But really, there was an opportunity for Lambert. He should have possibly gone it alone, really.
Yeah, he should have gone it alone at that stage, Marty. Certainly, he was inside the edge of the large parallelogram. So certainly should have taken his own chance.
John Evans driving it down this side. Tony Nation knocking it down to Timmy Dalton. John Brady chasing after him as Dalton goes past the Skibbereen 65-metre line. Colin Corkery got inside, getting inside his marker. Oh, and it gives it straight to Frank McCarthy. There was an overlap. Joe Kavanagh was gone inside. And it's good play by O'Donovan Rossa as they come forward, playing a good possession type of game. Getting it down to Neville Murphy. Cutting inside as if Kevin Cowie wasn't there. Still Neville Murphy. He has a man free inside. This is good play by Skibbereen. Pat Davis sending it high and sending it to left and wide. But that's marvellous play by Skibbereen, because for a moment at one end it looked like they were going to concede a goal, and within a couple of seconds they were down at the other end, missing an opportunity for a point.
That's right, they moved the ball very efficiently down the field and played it safe in all occasions. There was no stupid passing. Nemo have given away 2 or 3 stupid passes above here inside their own 25-yard line, you know. Colin Cottery that time winning possession should have certainly gone for a score or taken it in himself. Delayed a bit too much in his pass and to just intercept it.
Back to the action is Mick McCarthy over at the far side, gathering it in towards the corner flag, now coming out with it beyond the Nemo 20-metre line. He's now giving it back to his midfield man, Dennis O'Driscoll, who drops in an old-fashioned Gary Owen, and well gathered by Kevin Cowie. And sends the ball over to this side. And coming to meet it is Gene O'Driscoll. Effie Fitzgerald chasing after him. Back to John Brady. Skibbereen always available for a colleague. Pat Davis giving it inside to Dennis O'Driscoll, and that looked like to be a fair shoulder, but it wasn't, says the referee. Charging, so it's a free for Nemo. This is going to be taken by Don Heafy on the 20-metre line. Remember the score, it's 1-5 to 1 point. Now 17 and a half minutes gone. Shea Fahy giving it to Tony Nation, running onto it, past the Skibbereen 65. Giving a good ball down to Colin Corkery. Available at the far side is Stephen Callan. Looking for a bit of support, he holds onto it. Just gone past now the Skibbereen 45-metre line. Stephen Callan bursting his way past the 20, taking a shot and sending it across the face of the goal and sending it wide. So the scoreline remains the same, 1-5 for Skibbereen, 1 point for Nemo, 18 and a half minutes gone in the first half. And Nemo, who have only lost 1 match in fact this year, and I believe that would happen to be to a certain team called Castlehaven.
Yeah, we played them there about, I think it was about 2 weeks ago, Marty, actually, in the Keller Shield, but they were pretty short the same night. No, we were short, but you know, I suppose when you're out the championship, the Keller Shield really you use as preparation for championship.
Effie Fitzgerald seemed to have fouled as he gathered possession, so Tony Davis sends it down. A long ball again aimed at Mick McCarthy. Niall Creedon getting a boot to it and gets there ahead of Don Davis, but Don Davis responds splendidly. Magnificent play by the left half forward, winning the possession back, and Niall Creedon unceremoniously bringing down Don Davis with a very high challenge, born more out of frustration than anything else. And Niall Creedon, the Nemo captain, will definitely be booked for that challenge on the Skibbereen left half forward. So the former Green Hills resident, now living in Bishopstown, an electrician by profession, becomes the first Nemo man to be booked in this county final. And once again, it's an opportunity for Skibbereen to establish their lead and enhance it by putting this one over the bar. Playing with wind advantage, 1-5 to 1 point as we approach the 20th minute of this first half of the county final. Mick McCarthy didn't get behind it at all, drives it in low. Paddy Dorgan gathers it up. Stephen Callan. Dorgan forming the overlap. Gone outside is Jimmy Kerrigan. Callan decides to kick it instead towards Effie Fitzgerald. And Effie is having a right tussle with the referee because once again deemed to have been pushing, this time on Gene O'Driscoll. And fruit and vegetable wholesaler Gene O'Driscoll gets the free. Anthony Davis to take it. Just inches inside the Nemo 65. And interestingly, the umpire is coming out to talk to the referee, Richard Murphy, spotting the fact that Joe Driscoll was fouled by Stephen Muldoon off the ball, and the umpire came way out. Tony Nation is now having words with the umpire, and it's interesting to see what happens here. And referee Richard Murphy is calling Joe Driscoll and Stephen Muldoon together. But good work by the umpire to consult the referee, get his attention, Niall.
Certainly it was, there's no doubt about that. I'd say the two of them must have been having a bit of a tussle on their own there. The umpire, I just see, Marty, that the linesman actually on this side spotted it as well because he was out nearly into the middle of the field, you know.
So in fact, Niall, Joe Driscoll and Stephen Muldoon being booked by the referee. Interesting that when we were talking just before the match started, that Stephen Muldoon plays it hard and fair, and I suppose he's overstepped the mark on this occasion.
He is deemed to have overstepped it anyway, Marty.
The referee has given a penalty for pushing on Mick McCarthy. It looks like Mick McCarthy at least, and the referee had no hesitation to give a penalty. I think Nemo would question this decision because it looked as if the Skibbereen man just slipped, but Richard Murphy had no hesitation from out the field to give a penalty. An amazing decision, really. But this could well win the championship for Skibbereen. They lead by 1-5 to a point. 22 minutes gone in the first half, and it's Mick McCarthy to take it. Nemo protested, not adamantly, mind you, but Richard Murphy had no hesitation, it must be said. I didn't think it was a penalty myself, but here comes McCarthy. Low, and he drives it wide. Well, maybe justice was done, because Mick McCarthy puts his hands up to his head, but that he drove in low and hard and to the right of the post. And Nemo, you can see, the clenched fists are there. Now they're back in this match. That was a let-off.
Certainly that has let Nemo off the hook there on that occasion. I think maybe that Mick might have even gone for a pint if he had any doubt about it himself, you know. As I know, penalties aren't easy scored in hockey, Marty.
But we won't comment on that one now. The kick out lands in the middle. Tony Nation pulling on it first time, sending a ball up towards Dennis O'Sullivan, coming out to gather it. Peter Lambert, in fact. Now it is Dennis O'Sullivan running onto it. Tony Nation. Great running by the left half-back, cutting through the Skibbereen defence. Fouled by Skibbereen, and this is an opportunity now for Nemo to put their name on the scoreboard once again. But that's what you've got to watch from Nemo, is the running off the ball. They're experts at it, probably the best club team in the country at it, never mind in Cork. And that run by Tony Nation creating the foul, and a free in for Nemo Rangers. To take it, Colin Corkery from Pierce Road, Ballyfahad, outside the 20-metre line. About to take it there, but Pat Davis made a run just in front of it, and Corkery hits it nicely and sweetly over the bar. The second point of the afternoon so far for Nemo, almost on the 24th minute, and both points scored by players in the full forward line. Peter Lambert from play, Colin Corkery from a free. So 24 minutes gone. The scoreline, O'Donovan Rossa 1-5, Nemo Rangers 2 points. And also, in case you've just joined us, Mick McCarthy driving and O'Donovan Rossa Skibbereen penalty wide. Much to talk about in this first half, and most entertaining. Maybe not be brilliant football, but certainly the crowd here, an approximate attendance of 10,000. Thoroughly enjoying so far, particularly if you're from West Cork, and if you're leading by 6 points at the moment. Hot ball in the centre of the field. Referee gives the free to Nemo Rangers. It's Shea Fahy gaining an extra few metres. A little bit of silliness by Don Davis trying to knock the ball out of his hand. So now inside, dead smack in front of the Skibbereen goalpost, just inside the 65. Fahy drops it down, comes to Stephen Canlon, and an easy ball for Kevin Dwyer. Giving it out to Gino Driscoll. This side of the field, cutting across, just a few metres inside his own 45. Short passing, a little bit too short, but Dennis O'Driscoll manages to get it back to Gino Driscoll. A ball which Paddy Dorgan gathers just outside his own 45. This side of the field, Shea Fahy fisting it to Effie Fitzgerald, to Tony Nation. Nemo beginning to settle now as a result of that let-off of that penalty. The ball inside to Colin Corkery, but referee blown his whistle for a foul on Tony Nation, not liking the challenge by the Skibbereen man. So it's a free, again virtually dead straight in front of the post, just a few metres inside the Skibbereen 45-metre line. Colin Corkery to take it. Man who scored a goal against Beara, returned in 91 from Australia. Corkery, a player of great potential, sends that nicely over the bar, and Nemo, slowly but surely in this first half, are getting back into the match. They've scored 2 points since that missed penalty it could well be a turning point in this championship match.
Certainly, and they are now, their last two scores have come from frees from Colin Kirkby. With my experience of Colin from training with Cork and things like that, certainly you cannot afford to give him a place ball inside the 50-yard line.
The crowd in the stand here in Páirc Uí Chaoimh out shouting their Nemo opponents, very much so. It's all Skibbereen in the crowd. But it's Nemo with possession. Jimmy Kerrigan, the line-hearted Jimmy, sending it down quickly. Well read, however, by Frank McCarthy. And that's a free for Nemo Rangers. And just since that penalty, and I'm not overstating it by any means, Skibbereen seems to have lost their way in the last few minutes. Nemo gaining in terms of possession and superiority, as the free going to be taken at the far side, just outside the Skibbereen 45-metre line. Shea Fahy driving it in, but that's going into no man's land. A terrible ball by Shea Fahy, which Colin Corkery gives him a little bit of a finger wagging, and Shea acknowledges that it wasn't one of his best. So it's a kick out for Kevin O'Dwyer on his own 5-metre rectangle there at the city end, to the left of his post as such from his point of view. And Kevin this time with the socks down around the ankles, going to take the kick out. 27 minutes gone in the first half. Skibbereen leading by 1-5 to 3 points. Can they hold on to that lead? Can they add to it? They certainly would want to, because they'll have to face a breeze and a rampant Nemo side behind it in the second half. Giles Creedon getting his first possession in terms of a battle won ahead of Mick McCarthy. Gives it in towards Joe Kavanagh. Dangerous ball, knocked away rather clumsily by John O'Donovan, and the referee gives the free to Skibbereen on their own 13-metre line. Effie Fitzgerald again the guilty party, fouling his marker. And the player in question still down as Richard Murphy tells player to get up, but I don't think he's going to get up too easily. The first aid now coming into him on the 13-metre line. But Effie Fitzgerald really hasn't gotten into this match yet, Niall, fouling a lot.
No, hasn't got into it at all, and has even come back into their own defence and given away a stupid free on one occasion, you know.
So we're coming up to the half-time whistle, Niall. It's 1-5 to 3. Your thoughts at this stage?
Well, certainly Skibbereen have surprised me at this stage. They seem to be the team that are using the open spaces in Páirc Uí Chaoimh and not Nemo, you know. They seem to be playing the ball well. They're playing it well out of defence. They have only been cut for 2 frees, you know. They certainly I'll give you a good account of themselves so far.
Gino Driscoll is able to resume his position at right half back. Kevin O'Dwyer taking the free on the 13-metre line. Drops it into the middle. Pushing by John Brady, and John Brady is constantly arguing with the referee, and he's now being booked for dissent by Richard Murphy. So it's another free for Nemo. Shea Fahy to take it. He's down in the programme as wearing number 16, but in fact wearing number 17. And this free just a few metres inside the Skibbereen 65-metre line. And Nemo slowly but surely getting back into this match. Fahy's free, a better one this time. Well gathered, superbly gathered by John O'Donovan. Gino Driscoll dropping it down towards Joe Driscoll, knocked away by Stephen Muldoon. John O'Brady unable to hold on to it. Comes back to Shea Fahy, again spreading the ball over to the far side. Ian Breen trying to pick it up. Frank McCarthy is there. Available is Anthony Davis at centre half back. Sides against using the fisted pass and drives it long and through down towards Mick McCarthy. Knocks it down towards Neville Murphy. Neville cutting inside, chasing after him. It's Niall Creedon, but Neville goes it alone and he sends it off, dear, just a few inches to the right and wide, and that was certainly a let off for Nemo, and that's really the first time they've threatened since that missed penalty.
That's right, it has been the first time they've threatened since the missed penalty, and certainly a score at that stage there would have killed Nemo's comeback again, you know.
So Don Heafy kicks the ball out, but we've reached the half-time mark. Half an hour gone. A most interesting first half, not brilliant by any means, but most entertaining. Missed penalty by Skibbereen could well be a turning point, but Skibbereen, the men from Westbourne, playing extremely well, and they go in at half-time leading by 1-5 to 3. And before we go anywhere else, Niall, just let me ask you, would you be satisfied if you were Skibbereen men going in at half-time and facing the breeze in the second half?
Certainly, they have a 5-point lead, a 5-point advantage. They still have to come out in the second half with all guns blazing. Because knowing Nemo of old, Nemo are beaten until they're inside in the dressing room. But certainly Skibbereen are in a comfortable position.
So at half-time they lead by 1-5 to 3 points. A splendid goal by Joe Driscoll in that first half from a long probing ball from Anthony Davis. So at half-time in Páirc Uí Chaoimh, it's O'Donovan Rossa appearing their very first final, leading by 1-5 to Nemo Rangers, 3 points, as we take a brief commercial break.
When it comes to beds, King Coil and O'Dearest. Ballincollig Furniture at Maglin have a huge selection of quality kitchen, dining and occasional furniture and are open 7 days a week with ample parking.